Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. So today I have something super exciting. This is the new Glamlight palette. They did a collab with Lord of the Rings, and this is actually the very first Glamlight palette that I have ever picked up because I am a gigantic Tolkien fan. I love Lord of the Rings. I love everything he's ever written. So I had to have this. I was really excited about it. And can we just talk about this amazing packaging? I never save the outer box for things because it's so, but since it's Lord of the Rings and since it's so absolutely beautiful, I'm keeping this. Okay, so opening it up, like it's so cute. It's just like a little book. I just So you open it up, and there in this gorgeous packaging is the Lord of the Rings palette. I love this so much. They even have Tolkien's hand-drawn map of Middle-earth as the cover of the palette. I'm fangirling right now. Like, I just can't get over it. And of course the green and gold color scheme, so pretty. Okay, looking at the color story, I do have to say I'm a little surprised. I expected there to be more of a green and gold theme. And you don't really expect like super bright colors because Tolkien's not that kind of fantasy. But I did expect something a little different from like the purples. I don't like the palette of the movie and the palette of the books in my head. Like, it does not really have these purples. Like, it's really, I think the greens and the browns are nice. We could have had some brighter greens. We could have had like a more traditional gold. Because this for One Ring, like that's not really a gold color. I don't know. I'm being really picky, and I am just going to give you a forewarning here that I am going to be really picky because, again, Lord of the Rings and Tolkien are my thing. So yeah, I have some opinions. Okay, so opinions about the color story and how well it fits with the theme of the movie aside. I do want to go ahead and do a look with this to kind of try and try out this palette, see what it's like, give you my thoughts on it. And I want to try and use quite a few of these shades because I do really want to get a good view of the palette as a whole. But I want to try personally to stick with this sort of green and gold theme because I think it so well fits Lord of the Rings, and I need to make this look like that. Okay, so here's my thoughts. I think I'd really like to try putting Boromir on the outer corner. And then we'll put Merry sort of on like the first half of the lid. And maybe we'll put some gold shimmer on the lid as well, this Rivendell, because I like that. And then we'll go into the inner corner with the Shire. Again, maybe just to add a pop of something different, we might do Lothlorien kind of along the bottom edge. This is a weird shade name for a blue color. I guess it makes me think of the Mirror of Galadriel a little bit, like the blue reflective water. But I really feel like this could have been named Moria, or I don't know. Lothlorien, it's the forest. It's green and gold and beautiful, and I digress. Okay, so I'm going to start off with Boromir in that far corner. Pick up a little bit. And I'm just going to place it initially right here. And then we're going to smoke it out. Okay, that took a while to blend, and it's not super even because this is really pigmented, which I do really love. But had I thought about it beforehand, I might have gone in with a little less because this turned out to be a lot. Okay, so next I'm going to use the color Merry, and I'm going to use the color Merry and go in on the first half of my eyelids. And I'm probably also going to blend up into the brows with that as well, since I did end up using so much of that darker Boromir. Okay, and this is not turning out super green on me. I do have kind of a yellow olive-ish undertone to my skin, so sometimes greens do strange things. And this is almost kind of a neutral. Okay, I really like how that's turning out actually with that more neutral greenish shade. This is turning pretty. Okay, and I totally changed my mind. I initially wanted to go in with a gold on the eyelid, but I think if I'm gonna try and do this blue underneath, I really want to try Frodo on the lid. I don't know how this duochrome is going to, or maybe it's a multi-chrome. I can't tell. But I don't know how it's gonna do on the lid with that green, but we'll see how it turns out. Okay, so I've got Frodo on my finger and I just want to show this to you. Yeah, that is a pretty looking swatch. Wow. This is really dark, but it's also so green and so pretty. I'm in love with this. Okay, but this is gonna be a lot of blending. And there it is, a little blended out. I kind of made the whole eye a little bit more smoky. I kind of took it through the crease up in there. So just sort of blending back and forth like this. And I feel like it turned out super cute. Okay, and now we are going to use the Shire in the inner corner like I originally planned. I think it's going to be cute. Yes, I love this. Okay, and now I am going to try to line the bottom with Lothlorien. It is blue, but in some lights it's kind of like a purple. So it's a little bit of a color shift. Wow, this is so pigmented, so gorgeous. I just brought it up a little past where I would usually have eyeliner, and this is kind of working as an eyeliner now. Okay, what I'm going to do is I don't really want to blend that bottom too much, but I do want to sort of blend the ends where it's kind of peeking out from the corner of my eyes. I'm going to just sweep those back a little bit to blend just a little. One thing I'm noticing is that I am getting a decent amount of fallout from this blue shadow, which makes sense because it is really pigmented, but do be careful when you do your own. Okay, now I'm just going in to kind of clean up the transition between the inner corner shade and that liner. Just gonna blend a tiny bit right where they meet. Cute. Okay, and I want to kind of keep up this theme of being a little over the top, so I'm going to use this glow blush from Menagerie Cosmetics. This is called Thistle, and it's super cute. My eyeshadow is out so far, I'm going to have to blend these together. I love this glow blush so much. I'm really excited. I ordered Blend Bunny's new Luster Cheek Palette, which should be coming in the mail any day now, because I really want to see how it compares to these, because I love those lustery, glowy blushes. They're so pretty. Okay, and I kind of like the purple with the blues and the greens, so I'm going to go in with a purple glass. This is NYX Butter Glass in the shade Gelato. And then I'm going to go in with my Lash Paradise mascara. This is by L'Oreal. I love this. I think it's a really great workhorse mascara. I've been using L'Oreal mascaras since I was in high school, so this is just what I pick up every time and it works. So here is the look, and it's official. This is cute. It's really giving more mermaid than it is giving like traditional Tolkien fantasy, but so cute. Okay, so once again, here is that Lord of the Rings palette from Glamlite. We used the shades Boromir, Merry, the Shire, Frodo, and Lothlorien. Overall, I was so impressed by the shimmers. I felt they were incredibly pigmented. The Shire and Lothlorien especially went on like super easily, almost foil-like with how thickly they laid on and how stunning and really just like colorful, how much coverage they had. It was really impressive. Frodo had a little bit less coverage. It was really more, there's more like glitter feeling to it than like a foil, kind of a pretty shiny. But I do think that it turned out really well, and it did eventually blend out. It took me a little while, but it did blend out. The mattes. Merry was good. I liked how Merry blended on the eye, and I will reiterate that it did turn out a little bit neutral on me, but that is probably not necessarily the case for most people. I do just have kind of like this yellowish olive undertone that sometimes light green shadows do weird things on me. Boromir, I felt like was a really pigmented, nice dark shade. And I'm not sure if it's because it's so pigmented or just because the blendability was a little bit less than what I'm used to, but I did have to do a whole lot of blending, and I ended up taking it out super far just because I felt like it wasn't evening out and I needed to spread more of that pigment around a little better. This could be a skill issue. I will remind everyone watching that I've been experimenting with eyeshadow for only a year or two, so I am no expert. But I will say there are definitely other palettes by other brands that make it a little bit easier for me. This one was a little trickier. So there you have it. That is the Lord of the Rings palette from Glamlite. You can get it on their website, and they have a whole bunch of other things that go in this collection. There's a makeup bag and a highlighter and a bunch of other really cute things. Personally, like, I wish I could collect everything because I love Lord of the Rings, but I only have so much room in my makeup space, so I just got the palette. But yeah, you can grab it on their website. And thank you all so much for watching. I hope you have an absolutely wonderful day.